Well, Bulldogs fans, it's about time to stop celebrating the 11th state championship in Martinsburg history as the new season kicks off in just 1 week. The Bulldogs carry a 27-game win streak heading into this season, which is actually 15th in all of high school football. They got there heavily relying on a senior class that heads out after winning every accolade possible and back to back state titles. We watch as one of the most electric athletes we've seen at Martinsburg leave as quarterback Coy Fagan heads to Marshall after winning every award I think obtainable to him last season. The Kennedy, first team All State offensive captain, even West Virginia State Gatorade Player of the Year. His top option in Kyrie Bunny is off to prep school, who was one of the best two-way players in all of the state last season, garnering first team All State honors at wide receiver. Also gone as one of the best Martinsburg linebackers I can remember in a long time, and Ace Flores, who was first team All State defensive captain and played every play like his head was on fire. Truly one of my favorites to watch. So, with all these key departures of some of the best players in the entire state last year, how exactly do the Dogs continue this 27-game win streak? Well, let's start with the kid who's got the biggest shoes to fill on the team. Replacing Coy Fagan is no easy task, but junior Brian Dick was an electric playmaker who, as a sophomore, Dave Walker couldn't keep off the field, playing him at running back increasingly throughout the season to where he was the second leading rusher behind Fagan, and he's actually a second amongst returning players in receiving yards, only behind his new number one target, Boston Todd. He also took over at quarterback once most games were settled by Coy in the first team last season. This kid bounces off tackles with ease and has 4.5 speed, and he also has a very good arm, which he didn't get to showcase much last year until 7-on-7, but he can really spin it and has nice timing and ball placement. I think Brian Dick has a bright 2 year future under center leading the Bulldogs. Beside him in the backfield would be a group of backs, as always the Dogs do. Senior Terrell Cofield is most notable on defense, but he's going to be near unstoppable in short yardage situations this year for the Dogs. Senior Colin Schaffner played well last year, and I expect him to get his fair share of carries this season. But I think there's two breakout stars waiting in the backfield in Kassan Warden and Kevin Myers. Myers is a more true running back to me, showing great breakaway speed and power for a freshman back last season, and I'm always expecting a big jump in players after a full year in the Martinsburg varsity program. And speaking of a full year within the program, Kassan Warden missed the entire season last year, rehabbing a leg injury, and is back this season and looks absolutely incredible this offseason. He is truly one of the better athletes in terms of versatility I've seen in a while in this area. He can play running back, he can play wide receiver inside or out, he can play all linebacker spots, and the way he moves, he could probably fill any void in the secondary as well. Oh, yeah, he's only a sophomore. Martinsburg has some of the very best young athletes in the state, including junior Boston Todd, who is, in my opinion, a D1 level prospect. He's going to fill that Kyrie Bunny void at wide receiver number one, and he had a great season last year as the number two receiver, only being a sophomore. I expect more production with him moving up the chain. After watching some 7-on-7 clips, he's going to have a bunch of young help in Christian Irving and Kaila Villa, who I hope I said that right. Both of those kids are only sophomore wide receivers, but I think they could work their way into some big roles this season alongside the aforementioned Warden. I'm also expecting some more names to emerge in this room as some great athletes move from the hardwood to the gridiron as well this season. The O-line and D-line usually intertwine in high school football, and the Bulldogs have to replace three starters on offense this season. This is probably the biggest question mark to me, but Jordan Kovacs is an all-state level player alongside Kane Whip, who could be as well, and I think these guys could lead the entire offensive line to another postseason run. Sorry to interrupt. If you are enjoying this video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment of your prediction for the Bulldogs this season below to be entered into our subscriber giveaway. We're already almost at 100 subscribers, so thanks for all the support out there. I'll put the schedule at the end of this video. Just leave your comments below. Defensively up front, Frankie Urias had an underrated year last year. He's a kid I believe could be all-state watch list type of player this season. And junior Zion Reeves is a really good nose tackle, so the defensive front should be great, rounded out with Kovacs and Whip, who are probably better defensive linemen than they are offensive linemen. At linebacker, these Dogs got some big shoes to fill with Flores gone, but the steps Terrell Cofield seems to have taken is substantial, as I've read that some think he could follow Flores' footsteps as first-team All-State linebacker. alongside Michael Dillard, who I think is in the same shoes. He's actually inheriting that number 9 from what I read. I'm sure we'll see some other young guys emerge in this room as well, including Kassan Warden and the young Burson brothers. I'm expecting them to be a great group this season. The defensive backfield is where we're going to have to see some young stars emerge, but led by senior cornerback Mason Wiley, who I think could be the very best corner in the state, and junior safety linebacker hybrid Ty Ricketts. I think these guys could fly around and make some huge names for themselves this season. Ricketts, to me, I think is one of the best defensive players on this team. He sealed the state title game with an interception last year, and he played really well down the end of the stretch last year. I'm expecting another jump from him this season. Dewan Woodson is a young sophomore safety who's garnered some attention this offseason as well. A lanky 6'1", 6'2" safety who plays great downhill and plays the ball well in the air. I think he could be a big time player by the end of this year. The Bulldogs got some really good senior leaders on this team who should set the tone for this group this season. Terrell Cofield, Jordan Kovacs, and Mason Wiley should set the tone at each level for this football team, but I truly think the best players on this Bulldog team are the younger guys. Brian Dick, Boston Todd, and Ty Ricketts, I truly believe will have incredible junior seasons, and I think Myers, Warden, Villa, Irving, a bunch of these guys, Woodson, any of these sophomores could step up and become big dogs this season. Take a look at the schedule here for Martinsburg, and they open with Camden, New Jersey, who I'm going to try to get a breakdown out before Monday so all of us as fans know a little more about this Camden team we are going to be watching play our Bulldogs on opening night at Dave Walker Stadium. Well, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below whether you think the Bulldogs are going to three-peat and what you think their record is going to be at the end of this season. You could maybe win some Martinsburg merch or some team of your choice after we reach 100 subscribers. Thank you, guys. Stay blessed and go Bulldogs.